Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just popping by because on Wednesday, don't even know the date because I haven't brought my iPad up with me. So what date are we on now? Nobody knows. 16th, 17th, 18th, I think it's the 19th now. So on Wednesday of this week, normally Leonie does her Let Leonie Loose shows on Create and Craft, and Leonie is away at Glastonbury, so Janet is going to be doing a couple of shows. So on Wednesday the shows are 11 AM and 3 PM, which are the normal Let Leonie Loose times. And on that show I've got 4 new washies. So I don't know whether, have I got these in order? No, I haven't. Of course I haven't. 49, 50, 48. No, that's 48. What are you then? 47. So these are 47, 48, 49 and 50. So there's 4 new washies on the show. And I've designed these 4 washies to go with my release as usual and to work so that they're easy to use. And if you don't like creating backgrounds, these will create backgrounds in an instant. And they're the washi tape now is very papery. It's not plasticky at all, and it's lovely, so it's easy to tear, etc. So what you've got here is, I've got my one with like the blowy splatters with the numbers, which works beautifully with all my release. So we've got that one. So a nice small new product for the show. There's other things on the show as well, but these are 4 new washies that I've got on the show. Of course it can take me forever to roll them back on again. And this is number #47. We've got 48. No, why do I keep picking the wrong ones up? And then I've got number 48, which is this one, just so that you can see. Lovely colours on this one, just so you can see there, just some numbers in the background. And then if we pull it out, you can see the other detail. Now I wanted some number ones so that you can use them easily, so that they don't determine the background, because you can use this number 1 and pick one of the colours out, or you can just add a black and white element on the foreground. And with this one, because it's black and white, you can then add a pop of colour with that, or keep it all black and white. So they work really easy with the backgrounds. And then I've got number 49. I love this one. This goes with the numerator. And you can see, just lovely, creates a background in an instant, and it just works so well. And again, another really easy one to use, I feel. And also with this one, you can just take little bits like this and it can become a little embellishment as well, or even that area there. So this one, you can chop little bits of it and it becomes an embellishment in its own right. So I love that. So let me just try not to stick it to the paper and roll it back on. There we go. And then finally, I think this is the one I might use now, is number 50, #50, Neon Dreams. I can read that one, Neon Dreams. And just so that you can see, just works really well. So I think I'm going to use that one in a card. So I'll just create a simple card, nothing too complicated. Let's just roll that back up for now. And all I've done is I found some scrap card on the floor of my craft room. And what I did, I just trimmed it. I just needed a little bit trimmed off to create it. So this piece of pink frog smooth card is 3.5 inches by 7, and the card is 4 inches by 7.5. I literally just picked up what I had. So I just thought I'd come along and do a nice simple demonstration. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use little pieces of the washi just to create my background. It's nice if you put it the right way. So I'm just going to create sort of a background with the washies. Just building a little backdrop. And it really does tear easily. Let's make so it looks a bit different. It tears lovely. And it'll just give me an instant background without having to think about it too much. Apart from the fact if I've got it the right way, that's about as much as I have to think up. So, and you've got these hexagons here on this one, which is number 50. You've got these hexagons that have also got the words, see if I can read them through the camera, dream, hope, memories, love, wish. You can just create, inspire. Just got some words on there that you can use and build up your composition. Now I don't want to cover up the whole of my white card. Just want to create a bit of a random background. So I like to layer bits on the card in sort of different areas, not how it comes out on the washi tape. Sometimes I like to make it a little bit more random. There we go. Right, let's take I'm just going to take what I've got near to my desk. And what I'm going to do is take some of this bulb Gazette, and I've got my Ecoline pens still on my desk, so I'll use those. I've got my Carmine, which is 318, and I'm just going to add the Carmine just to my bulb Gazette stamp, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of stamping touched very lightly in the background. I'm not going to press too hard, just adding some light detail just to my background, just so it's not, I don't want to overpower it too much. And what I'll do is I'll use some splatters from my Ecoline pen, just so that it's the same colour that I've got in the background, and that can just be drying a little bit. There we go. And then I might just, I'm then just going to grab a little heart. I'm just going to see if it'll work. I just need a scrap of card. So I just need a scrap of my card, and then I'm just going to take this washi and just cover some of the card with the washi, just randomly, just to give a black and white element. And again, if you're not really into too detailed a background, you can create a background very simply with the washi and the work's done for you. But also bear in mind that the washi can act as some embellishment pieces, because you can add the washi over chipboard pieces, everything. Let me just lift that up. And what I want to see is if that heart, yes it does. So let's do it that way so it comes out. So I'm going to take the heart stencil, which is the elongated hearts, and what I'm going to do is just draw around the heart like so, and and then we can spend forever looking for the scissors. And then I'm just going to cut around the heart. Phew, I'm so hot. Just cut around there. There we go. So then I've got, get your fingers out there, I've then got my little heart, which I can just add here. Now I'm thinking I want another one. I should have moved that along a bit. Let me just see if I can. It's so warm in here. So I should be able to fit another one on. Where is it now? It's that one. So I'm going to do it there. I think I'm still on the washi tape. And if you just bear with me, I'm just going to open my window because it is boiling. Just bear with me. I do apologise if I move the camera a little bit there because the window is directly opposite my camera, which is really handy. So then what I'm going to do is cut out these here. So I've got another heart to use in my composition. Another heart to use in the composition. Now, if I wanted to, excuse me, you could even sort of stick this together like so, then stick this part like so. Don't waste anything. And then what you can do, which I may do, is use these aperture pieces in another card. So just add a little bit of the washi here. Phew! It's so humid. Add another little bit. And that's what I love about washi, because you can be really random. And just add little different bits. Okay? And what you've got there, let's just turn that over. Turn that bit over. Let's just put a little bit of washi on here, just so that it's a bit more secure. And what I've got now is I forgot the top. Let's do it properly. You'll have to blame it on the heat. When I get so hot, my brain doesn't work. I mean, I know it doesn't work at the best of times, but it's working less than normal now. Just add that there. Bit here, so you can leave some little touches of white card. You don't have to cover the whole lot up if you don't wish. And then what you can do is add some ink around the edges, and now you've got another piece for a card that you can place something underneath. You could put text underneath, or you could add something on the top. So that's just from the waste. So I'll put that on one side because I don't want to lose that. So that one was washi 49. I think the bundle's about £15, I think, for the 4 washies, from what I remember looking. What I'm going to do then is just grab one of the flowers that I've got. I've got the plastic. I'm trying to be good. And I'm going to need that stamp, so let's leave that there. Right. I'm going to grab one of these flowers, I think, and I'm going to use this. So obviously I'm going to have to cut out during this video, because as soon as the washes have arrived, you know, I've wanted to sort of get my stamps out. Do I want this one now? I have this one, 'cause it's a little bit smaller, Tracy. What are my other ones that I've got? Honestly, I'm terrible. Which stamp can I use? Not that I haven't got much choice, as you well know by now. Of course, I need to take forever to decide. You do know that, don't you? No, I need something a bit... Yeah, let's use this one. Let's use this one. And it's part of the flower trio, which is the Cosmos one. Now, you don't have to colour it like a cosmos, you know, you can have it in any colours that you want, but I'm going to have mine in sort of a red, just to bring out that red in the project. And I'm just creating a nice simple project on a warm evening. So I'm going to take my Nocturne ink. Let's just move them scissors out of the way. Just ink it all up so we can see what we've got on the stamp set. We've had some rain today, but it hasn't cooled it down any at all. I actually did some gardening. What a stupid thing to do. I actually did, there's one border in my garden that's got loads of geraniums in it, and it looks beautiful up until now, sort of end of May, June time, and then the geraniums go past the best. And what you're supposed to do is chop them down, and then you get some lush new growth afterwards. So I decided, oh, I'll cut all the geraniums down and I'll do that. Oh, you should have seen the state of me. What a mess I was. I was so hot. But then it's supposed to bring the new lush growth back. The problem is, in this interim stage, I have to say, it looks a total mess. So what I thought was, oh, I might give the border a revamp, because when the geraniums finish flowering, I thought it needs more interest. So I've got a couple of plants that needed planting, so I thought, oh, I'll plant them in the border. And this is a border that's going to be made slightly bigger when Ian can be bothered to start digging it out. And the soil in our garden is so well drained. The soil is like dust. And as I was digging it, all I did was cough the whole time, because it was like digging up dust. It was just unbelievable. So why I decided to cut and bag all this stuff up is beyond me when it's so humid. I must have been mad. I filled the garden bin, which has only just been emptied, with geranium. But trying to get, you know, flowers in concession so that, you know, when one finishes flowering, another one's then flowering, is very difficult. My bottom border is looking lovely, and the border by the pond is looking lovely. But this border on the left-hand side of my garden needs a bit of work. But I don't know about you, I haven't had the energy that I normally have, you know, when it's a bit cooler. I can definitely do more when it's a little bit cooler. Oh, not when it's so humid. And trust me, being a redhead doesn't help. Really doesn't. And then I've got people who I know who are running 10 kilometres. 10 kilometres! I can't even walk around the garden or dig. Never mind doing 10 kilometres. I think I'm abnormal, that I'm just made different. I've decided, how can you run 10 kilometres in this humidity? I go to the gym, but it's air conditioned. But how do people run around the streets when it's so humid? Anyway, there you go, that's me waffling. So I've got my little cosmos flower. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to add colour to my cosmos flower that's going to have that pop of red, and then I'll use the hearts. What you could do is you could pick a bit of the sort of purpley colour, very deep. And it's like with your others, on this one you could pick up some of the wine, sort of the wine colour, the pinky wine colour. So there are things on there that will inspire you. Right, let's grab our water spritzer. I really should spritz the water all over my face, really. It's about as much use as the water spritzer is for the moment. So I'm just going to add the carmine. In case I didn't add the colour, it's 318. So I'm going to add a little bit of carmine just to my flower. Now I'm using Pink Frog smooth card, and definitely this weather is frazzling my brain. I keep asking myself, did I mention what size the card was? And then I remembered, yes I did. It's just frazzled. I know there are some people who absolutely love the heat and they can sunbathe out in it and everything. No, I can't even sunbathe out in it. So just adding a little bit of that colour just around my flower. I always think when you first put it on, I look at it and think, what on earth is that? So let's just add some water. I did add some at the bottom here, but we'll move that now because you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to pick up that watered down bit, and then we're just going to blend that out. Just blend out the colour. And I'm just going to take a bit of time just to add the colour to my cosmos. I'm sure it was Janet I was speaking to, and she got some red cosmos. That, or again, my brain's playing havoc with me and I'm talking nonsense, but I'm sure she did. I speak to so many people, I lose track of what I've said to who. So I'm just building up the layers. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave a little bit of the white, just so that that pops a little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit more intensity of colour with sort of a second layer. Just to add that intensity of colour, and I will go in with a second colour as well, but I do like to take a little bit of time just to build the definition. A little bit more water. Let's keep adding a little bit more. Add a little bit more. So yes, so I actually need some more plants now. The only problem is planting at this time of year. I mean, it's obviously better if you can plant in spring and autumn. With it being so hot, that means you've got to keep the plants watered. Not ideal. So then I'm going to use the reddish brown, which is, I can't see, 422, because it's getting a little bit darker now outside. Just think, after the 21st of June, the nights start drawing in. What a cheery thought. Can't believe it. gone, do you think it's gone quick where, you know, it seems like, you know, 5 seconds when we were saying, oh, you know, it's getting light at night and it's lovely. On the 21st of June, that's the longest day, and then the nights start drawing in. Unbelievable. Nothing like cheering everybody up, Tracy. Right. So I'm just coming in with a little bit more. I'm sort of building the layers so that there isn't too much of a harsh line between the layers. And obviously I want to add a little bit of white detail as well. And I just want to leave a little bit of white. Let's just wipe that up. Now I know I can add the white to the centre because that's not wet. So what I'm just going to do is, even though I've added the white touches within the stamp, I'm just going to give it a little bit more touches of white, just to dot that around. I'll just let that rest a little bit before I add those touches of white. Let's move these all down here. Let's grab a little bit of kitchen roll. See, my splatters have dried nicely, so the Ecoline pens also splatter, which works quite nicely. And now I have to play with compositions. So if I have that there, and this is where I also talk to my project, because that's what you do if you're a complete nutcase, is you talk to your projects. I would be better off sticking it down, Tracy, but I'm not going to do that yet, because I just want to decide which way I want it. I definitely want it that way. I'm terrible. It's just the way I am. I like to faff around with the composition. So if I add that down there and the bird on top, yeah, that's fine. And what I've noticed is there's a little bit of the washi missing there. I'm not too concerned about that at all. So what I'm going to do is to bring these hearts just into this and my flower. Let's get a little bit of the lumberjack plaid. And trying to find a piece of cut and dry foam that's got red on. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Oh, there you go, I can use that one. So I'm going to use that lumberjack plaid. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the lumberjack plaid round the washi, because that washi has got more of a papery feel, and due to that means that I can add a little bit of inking without it wiping straight off. There we go, just to add a little bit of that. So I'm going to add, we're going to put this underneath, or yes, I'm going to mess over and over again. Yes, we'll put the flower down first, and what we'll do is we'll have some white cotton to bring in the white from the background of the card and the white from the black and white washi, just to echo those touches of white. Just place that out like so, bring him down, and then we'll just add a little bit of my glue, just one dollop on the back, Let's just clean out that lid just while we're here. There we go. Nothing like doing your jobs while you're recording a video. And I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the stem, but only to the stem, just so that sticks down, not these areas here, because I want them to stick up a little bit, just to give a little bit of life to the design. Just add right here. Don't squash it down too much, but you do need to squash it down a little bit, because if you don't, it won't grab hold of those cotton fibres, and you need it to grab hold of those cotton fibres. So let's take our heart. So you want it to grab hold of those cotton fibres. Just a little bit of adhesive on there. I love the hearts, using the hearts with the washi. Just works lovely. There we go. And then on the same stamp, here we've got the word Cosmos. I've also got the word Cosmos on the stamp set separately, but I want to just use this one because it's not too big and it's not too overpowering. Just gives me the word Cosmos without being too much. Just use a little bit of that ink that was on the, we're just going to add that there. There we go. Move that up a bit. There we go. That's it. Just add that here. There we go, just so that you can see we're just building that up. I'm then going to put the lid on here. I must have laced something wet on there. Goodness knows what. There we go. So I'm going to grab my little bird just from the Quill Ends, because he just sits beautifully. I like him. I like the Quill Ends, just in case you didn't know. Let's take that, and we'll just take our little bird. Or the little mouse would work quite nicely as well. There we go. Love the fact there's such a variety of products you can use. Let's just cut that out. Go. I just need more hours in the day, personally. Well, you could have cut that out a little bit better, Tracy. Right, let's give him a little bit of dimension. Just on the little bird. Preferably where we don't see the glue. That's it. I often talk to my work. It's a first sign that I'm losing the plot. that's nothing new. I'm then going to add, no, we won't go into add the splatters yet. I knew I'd remembered one thing. And then I've got my art notes, stamp set 906. And it's got some sort of lovely little details in there that are not too overpowering. So what I'm going to do is just pick up a little bit of that detail. And I'm just going to, let's move that con. I always decide I want something else just as I put the cotton and the flower down, but that's me all over. Place that down. The reason I want to add a touch of black, there's some black in the washi here, so I just want to make it a little bit more cohesive. So just adding few little touches of the black. I don't want to overpower it too much, so I'm just using the art notes 906. And then we can add the white splatters. So we'll give that a little bit of a shake and then pump the pen, and then we can add our splatters. And if you get the splatters on the washi, that's quite nice. It sort of looks all part of it. There we go. And then any stray splatters, there's not many there at all. There we go. Just adds it. And obviously you wouldn't try to stick anything down like I normally do. I just want to see if I've got a little clip. Got my little index clip just to add to the top of my card. Now if you haven't got an index clip, you could just add a little bit of your washi as a little bit of an embellishment. And then I'm going to add this to my card blank, which was 4 by 7.5, because this was 3.5 by 7. And it just, I was going to add a black mat, but I like it just as it is, just to retain some of that brightness to my design. Let's just add that here. Like so. Make sure you press that index clip, because obviously it's a little bit of an embellishment and it's got some depth, so you want to make sure that that adhesive grabs. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of the white just to my flower, just to make that pop a little bit more. I do like a few little touches of white. There we go, in there. That's it. It just sort of finishes it off nicely. And then what you can see is, you can see the washi's got some of that red in as well, just so that you can see that. Just so you can see the card. And if you had, where's my, let's see if I've got any. Just looking through my selection of offcuts. Just looking through a selection of offcuts, really, to be honest. Because you just want to remember, before I disappear, not to forget about that piece. You could use that, and you could have a red flower on here, or just touches of red under here as well. But don't forget that piece as well. So I'll hold that up just one more time just so that you can see the detail in the card. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed just a little sneak peek of my 4 new washies. So love to all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.